Good morning, Patrick County. Welcome to another program of the people, the places, and the performers of Patrick County. I'm your host, Director for Economic Development and Tourism, James Houchins. We are very fortunate today to have a very special guest with us here, Mr. Charlie Bowman, who is the district governor for the Ruritans, or is a district governor in the Ruritans this morning. Just again, want to let you all know that tourism is dedicated to promoting the county through print, video, and various products to showcase the beauty here in the county. Patrick County is an exciting place to visit, live, love, and enjoy. We have everything here from primitive camping to five-star luxury, our history, outdoor tranquility, hiking, biking, and the beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains make this a destination worth seeing. So come, get lost, and find yourself here. So again, welcome, Mr. Charlie Bowman. How you doing this morning?
Good. Glad to be here.
Good.
Good to be here.
Well, we're going to just jump right into it and just ask you some various questions and
Sure.
stuff. I know I've got to know you a little bit better over the last couple of years being a part of the Ruritans, also helping out with the different projects that the Ruritans put on here in the county. But you're the district governor here, so let me get you to tell us a little bit first about yourself and then about what you do there with the Ruritans.
I've been here all my life. I grew up on a farm, and we moved into town when I was a teenager. Stayed here a while, and we went back to the farm. I got into Ruritan because somebody asked me, and that was back in the mid '80s. I wanted to do it because of helping others. Then I had to take a break. I was moved back to a second shift job where I was at, and I had to get out. I came back in '98. Made the mistake of going to a district convention and using the restroom when they elected officers. Came out an officer. And I've been with the cabinet ever since 1998. I started on the road in 1999. I took a year off a couple of years ago after COVID and came back and been doing it ever since. I cover 4 counties, Patrick, Henry, Pennsylvania, and Halifax. We've got 33 clubs, and each one of them's a peak different in each place. I did a lot of work with kids in schools, especially with disabilities, because I have a daughter with disabilities. And from people coming and telling us different projects that they were working on for disability people, I started out with her, then got back in the community helping others, and then got into the elderly scene. And I've been doing this now for probably 37 years.
All right.
So it's a lot of fun. It's heartbreaking too in times, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm glad to hear you saying is just really about helping others. And I know that that's one of the things that I'm very proud of here in the county. Just to see some of the various things that goes on with the county here, and making sure that all of the various things are doing with the help. How many Ruritans do you all have that are actually
in Patrick
County?
201.
201 people. All right.
Yeah.
And you've got them in Stuart.
We've got 6 clubs in Patrick County.
Okay.
We've got the Stuart Club and the Woolwine Club, thanks to Kevin and Pam Smith. They the ones that got those started. Woolwine had one years ago, and it faded. We've got Meadows of Dan. Meadows of Dan's getting ready to do their Pancake days coming up pretty quick. We've got the Patrick Springs group. Occasionally do fish suppers and pinto bean suppers and stuff. Go down to Red Bank. We just finished up the Autumn Leaves Festival in that area with the Polish sausage. Go over to Ararat. They're getting ready to have their annual barbecue coming up here in a couple of weeks. And then I'm missing one.
It's all right.
I think there was 6 in Patrick County, but I think I covered all.
Okay, all right. Now, do you see a lot of good collaboration between the clubs?
We're seeing more now. Used to, when I joined Halifax County, I'd see a lot of clubs working together.
Yeah.
We didn't have it here.
Yeah.
And in the last few years, we are seeing more clubs kind of helping other clubs out. If you came by the booth Saturday, you saw Patrick Springs working with us.
Yeah.
And Red Bank works with, that was a club, Red Bank. Red Bank works with Patrick Springs. Stuart, I think, is working a little bit with Woolwine. Ararat's got the 2 sponsorships with Woolwine and Stuart, so they're doing work with them. So I'm seeing more of it now than what I've seen over the years.
Well, that's good. That's good. And that's one of the things, again, as I already stated, good to hear that the county is working together
Yeah.
good and seeing those things. Let's talk about the project y'all just wrapped up over there. I know you was talking about you were out at the Autumn Leaves Festival. We was very fortunate to be up out there too. It's a lot of work involved in
Yeah,
it.
wow.
To have a booth set up out there, the work that takes involved in it. Very thankful for Grace, for marketing manager here, being able to come out to help us out with that. And we had Wayne Kirkpatrick and Betty to come out to help us with it. But we seen you all set up out there, and y'all were selling
Polish sausage.
Polish sausage. How did y'all do out there that day?
I think we did pretty good. I'm going to have a meeting after I leave here to discuss it. We started out with 1,500, and I think we sold 1,500 in 3 days. The thing that hurts us a little bit is the finance part of it. When we do the fall festival in Meadow, of course, 20% of your gross goes straight back to the city.
Yeah.
Used to, we had a 2-page deal where we had a contract and we had a voucher. The voucher, we turn in our 20% from that. This year, it's a 1-inch notebook. And I've filled out paperwork and got on the phone and texted and everything else to get this lined up and to make it work for the 3 days that we were there. And you meet a lot of good people when you do that. People come by and see you every year, and they look for you every year. They may not buy anything, but they'll come by and speak. And we've made a lot of friends over the last 20-some years we've been up there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it was really quiet over there this weekend. Too.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of things that was happening up there. And you already mentioned, too, that the Ruritans and Meadows of Dan are having the Pancake Days to come up.
If you go to that, go early because you're going to be standing in line for a while.
Oh, yeah, quite a while.
Usually you may get in that door and get out in about an hour if you're lucky. But they have good pancakes. They've got a great group of people working the days. And they get volunteers from everywhere, too. They use the fire and rescue squad as a backup. And that's what it takes as a community to do a project that big.
Yeah, yeah. And that's going to be really nice. We're very fortunate, in case you haven't heard, that they did open up the Virginia portion of the Blue Ridge Parkway. There were some issues with that. After Hurricane Helen came through, and we know that it did a tremendous amount of damage in the North Carolina region. Hearts and prayers continue to go out for those people who are doing recovery efforts. But get out if you can. Do local this weekend. Help support the Meadows of Dan community. Not only are you going to be supporting them and the businesses, but the Ruritans also with their Pancake Days. And if you missed it, you did miss the good smelling. I didn't get one of the Polish sausages, but you talking about something that when we got over there early Saturday, the smell was definitely enticing.
The onions and peppers is what sells them out.
It sells them all out. Yeah. So as a district governor, what tell us what you would do just in your particular job. What do you do?
We visit clubs and see how the projects are going, what they're doing, what they're planning to do, give them advice on anything you need help with, listen to the concerns and complaints that they may have, give them help if they're slacking in membership a little bit. And that's where I'm going to be Thursday night. I'll be at a club, and I'm going to be working with growth and development with that. We go in and we kind of recognize them for what they're doing. And give them that pat on the back, because with all the volunteer work you do, you don't get that thank you or that smack on the back saying, you did a good job and thank you for helping the community. My job is to go in and make sure they get that. Whether that club hadn't done anything in 6 months, I'm still going to go in and talk about the club that I'm visiting and brag on them and the work that they've done. I try not to talk about my club or any other club other than if somebody asks, I'll talk. I kind of listen in on the meetings and see how they're going. And then we do training to keep the officers up to speed on how everything functions from a national level down to the district level, down to the club level.
Good. And if you're listening today and you see this at a later time, just keep that in mind too, Patrick County, that there are ways, again, that you as an individual can help out your community. One of the good ones to join is the Ruritans, as we are talking here today. And we've got other civic organizations also in the county too, the Rotarians, that does a great job as well too. But you can always get involved. You can always find ways to help out, ways to give back. I think the biggest thing, like listening to you, Charlie, is time. And that's really what it does, because when you're out, you go into Halifax, it takes a lot of your time to get out and do that.
It does. A good old rock station on the radio and clear road, it helps. Bad weather's a trip.
Yeah.
I was up in Gretna a couple of weeks ago, and it's the awful thunderstorm you ever been in coming home at night. But just to get out and get with these people, it kind of subsides the storm.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Do you see a lot of the same, I guess you might say some of the same characteristics
Pretty
of the
much.
people?
Pretty much. The only thing different is you got 33 clubs, you got 33 attitudes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's easy to work with them if you treat people like you want to be treated.
Okay.
And I've never been turned away from a club yet in all my years of doing the service. Um, a lot of them are passing on now, and I hate that, but we can't stop death.
Yeah.
That's our major factor right now of losing members. And we're trying to get maybe a little bit younger group to come in with us. If you look at the average age right now, Ruritan is probably 61. And we've got 802 right now in the district members. I've got 2 clubs that's going to be closing the doors at the end of the year, and it's because of age. Because they've been in there for 40, 50, 60 years, and I don't know whether they don't like the change that's coming about or has come about, or whether they just tired.
Yeah.
And they want to hang it out. So, but we just started a new one up in Gretna, and I was up there a couple of weeks ago with that.
Yeah, and so listening to that, Patrick County again, this is just something for you to really think about. The average age being 61 years old in those groups, and as a child growing up here in the county, I do remember a lot of the civic organizations, a lot of things that they've done, and how much they've got involved in. And if the average age is 61, I mean, that's something that we really need to appeal to some of the younger generations to come out and support them, because again, without any of our volunteers, whether it's fire and rescue, whether it's any other social program they have going on, without volunteers, it's hard to get those things done. And this is an opportunity again for you to give back to the county as well too. And I know the organization you also were involved in earlier this year with the River Run.
Yep.
How did that go this year?
I think it went well. I wasn't there. I was at Meadows of Dan for a anniversary they had there, but everything went slick as a button.
Well,
they tell me had a good turnout. The biggest turnout we've ever had on that Kibble Valley River Run was a year that come a tsunami on Friday, and we were setting up on Friday. And Saturday we had people coming up there. I mean, we had tons of people coming up, and they were donating money to us and not riding the river because of the swiftness of the water. And had a great turnout that year. And this past couple of years, we've had a good turnout up there.
Good.
And most of the money that Ruritan Clubs make, they don't keep it. And I'll tell you why. A lot of money that we get goes back into college scholarships that we do. Every club does scholarships. And I think I just got through doing a set of numbers. In the district alone, we put back a little over $50,000 in the clubs, back into college scholarships. And that means a lot. If a kid is getting out of high school and is thinking about going to college, not only does he go around and try to get all the scholarships he can get, but the Ruritans do that too. Plus, we've got a national scholarship that if your club comes in and donates $300, the next year when you pick the child that's going to go from your community to college, then they'll reimburse that $675. So they double up the money that you go to. I worked with Ferrum College a few years back, and I didn't know that Ferrum College was a Methodist group. And if your club gave $1,000 to the child, when you went into Ferrum College, the alumni gave him $1,000, plus the Methodist organization gave him $1,000. So he walked in with $3,000 right off the get-go.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you know, and I haven't kept up with this either, but are there any students that has gotten any of those scholarships, anything from here in the county?
Yeah, we do scholarships every year for kids around here. Now, Ferrum College, I don't know because it's been several years since I've worked with them, but we do a ton of scholarships. Ararat does. Stuart's getting ready. I think Stuart did one this year, and they just started last year. Ararat's always done them. Meadows of Dan used to do 5, but they would do like a couple for Patrick County, maybe 1 for Carroll County, and 2 for Floyd County.
Okay.
So they scattered their monies around up there, but yeah, we support the kids. We also support the elderly. A lot of the clubs, after they have a meeting, they'll take meals to the elderly out in the community. Once a year, we try to do an elderly supper to get people involved, and bring some of the widows and the widowers back to the club to see where we at compared to what it was when their husband and wife was in the club years ago.
No, that's good. So again, just giving back out to the community and helping those who help you. And I know one of the things as I got to really get to know you and get to talking with you as well too. If you haven't noticed him, and I know all of you all that probably know him, he's got a good dry sense of humor in the way he says stuff and do things like that. And a lot of times I get to talking with him up here at the visitor center when he stops by and get to laughing
Yeah.
and carrying on. But it's good to be able to laugh and to carry on and
You
have a
worked
good
40
time.
years textile like I did. You learned to laugh. It's either
Yeah.
that or pull time, so I decided to laugh. I did do 40 years in textile, and
Yeah.
it teaches you things.
Yeah.
Working with different people in different age groups.
Yeah.
And when I go out into the communities, I try to give some of that humor back to them. You know, you run up on a lot of people, and people talking about mental health today. If you could make a person laugh for 5 minutes, you took 5 minutes of their life that they were thinking seriously about maybe killing themselves.
Yeah.
And you take that mindset off of it and bring it back to where, you know, maybe life's worth, you know, going another day. Maybe I ought to
Yeah.
hang on to this.
Yeah.
And we go with it.
Yeah.
The people the low income folks that I work with are the happiest. They've worked and earned everything they've got. They're proud of what they got. They won't ask you for nothing. They'll do without before they'll ask you for any kind of help. And when I see people like that, I try to get connected with whether it's Rotary or whether it's Ruritan, and say, you know, we've got a family out here that could use some help, and let's see what we can do.
Good deal. And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I think that is it. And I know we talk about it, and you hear a lot of times on the TV and in the news about mental health, and it is something that we really need to be aware of. Take it seriously too. Don't look down on people because people go through different things in different ways. And it's good that you're an advocate, because I know that in my talking with you over the times, you do a lot more advocate outside of just the Ruritans too. When people do have problems, you don't mind stepping in and making phone calls and stuff, because I know you had to do that a lot with your daughter when you first got,
I'm
trying to
working
find her
a
care.
thing now with a family down in Bassett, and people call. Well, they go through social services, they go through mental health, and then if they can't get help that way, somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows me will call me up, and I'll say, okay, let me see about my contact. And I'm working a thing in Bassett right now where this child is on a nebulizer, and believe it or not, the insurance will not cover the medicine that goes in it, and she's got a lot of lung problems. She's totally disabled, and we can't beat that one. The parents have tried, the doctors are writing notes. We're not getting anywhere with it, and that's the rock that you run into every now and then doing these cases. Yeah. When Katie was born, she was 2 pounds 10 ounces. She had a grade 4 brain bleed. She had 2 strokes at birth. Weighed 2 pounds 10 ounces. Within a couple of days, we were in Roanoke. She went down to 2 pounds and 3 ounces. Katie, that Christmas, I was holding her in a rocking chair. And of course, we had lines hooked up to her, and I was holding oxygen and her together. And that Christmas, I'll never forget, because Katie died 5 times that day. I brought her back with a slap of a foot. That was what they were teaching us in the first aid classes we were taking. And I promised God that if we got out of Roanoke, because we went to Charlottesville after that, but if we could get home, I would do as much as I could for as many as I could for as long as I could. And I tried to stick to that.
That's good. That's good. You know, a lot of times out of adversity is when you find most of the people who does the most jobs and the most work with people too. So we do commend you for that effort as well too. And again, for this just letting people know that, sprinkled throughout Patrick County is what really makes this place so unique.
You've got a lot of good people here. I mean, that's the reason I won't move out of Patrick County. I've been offered jobs all over the state, and I've been offered jobs with different groups in the state. And I like it here because I was born here, I was raised here, went to school here, worked here, raised my family here. It's laid back. I mean, I can go into Richmond, I can go into Roanoke, I can go into Norfolk and do talks with groups down there, and you're nervous because of the crowds. But you get back here, it's low key.
Yeah.
Brings you back.
Yeah, and that's a testimony to you too, again, Patrick. And again, just the stories like that in the county of people who are behind the scenes sometimes that we really don't know a lot about, but they're making an impact. They're making a difference in day-to-day lives for individuals as well too. And that's why we want to do this too. It's a way for us to highlight the county, to put it out on the YouTube and to talk about it. But it's also to let people know that there are people in the county that are doing a lot of great work in the county. And I know there's several more out in the county. And as we continue to do this program, hopefully we'll get some more on.
Yeah.
We know that we've had people, we've had some of the performers, Grace and myself, as well as Kim. Kim Rakes does a lot with us. Photos. We're going to get out and start doing some places. But again, you cannot beat the people of Patrick County. One of the things that I've really been thinking about and working on, being economic development and tourism now, is that quick elevator pitch that a lot of people want to say, well, what is so special about Patrick County? What if you had 30 seconds to tell somebody, what would you say? And I'm working on that. And one of the things that just came to mind, what I read here, it's the people, it's the places, and it's the performers, because we have such a outstanding group of people in the music field, from Appalachian music to bluegrass music to gospel music to the blues with the Fadrells. Just an amazing group of people, and a lot of what I call garage bands years ago too. Used to do a lot with music, and and I was sitting back thinking too, and even with the outstanding band that we have here at the high school, they do so much and win a lot of things too. So we got music all the way around, but we're just very thankful. And Charlie, I do want to commend you for the work that you're doing. Very thankful for the Ruritans in the county. I know that a lot of you all are still working, still trying to grow, trying to get your organizations up. But maybe after this program, maybe if we can get you 1 or 2 members, maybe that will help out. And you got your choice here.
We've got the 6 clubs here in the county, and all you have to do is ask. And come to a meeting. You don't have to join the first night. Come out and eat with us. Listen to what we talk about, what we plan for the community that we're working in. And if you want to join us, feel free to ask. And of course, we're going to ask you, but ask and come back in next month. And if you really like what's going on, then be a part of us. And we put everything back in the community.
It's nothing like food and fellowship, and we know that. Whenever people get together, they love to have some fellowship, but the food's always important.
Ruritans specialize in green beans.
In green beans, you was telling me that one day. A lot of green beans, so y'all keep up the green beans. Now I'll take a casserole, but don't everybody inundate us with a 3-bean casserole right now. But again, Patrick County, we thank you for taking the opportunity to be with us, Charlie. I really do appreciate that. Again, for the work that you're doing in the county with the Ruritans, and and again for just telling a part of your personal story there, and how you just working with your daughter, and continued prayers for that. And just again, as I've already indicated, if you can help out the community in any way, please feel free to do so. A lot of good organizations here in the county. We're just trying again to keep the positive light on the county, and just letting people know that we are special and we don't mind helping. Appreciate it, Charlie. Thank you very much. Well, this has been another episode of the People, the Places, and the Performers of Patrick County. Stay tuned again as Grace Cooper and myself look at doing more things in the future. We'll never know where we'll be at next, so we may be knocking on your door. But again, thank you for watching today. You all take care, and come get lost and find yourself here.